So here it is. This is time of date. Sorry, I'm not at Santa Monica Pier. I'm going to the Santa Monica Pier. So, hello, my name is Talon Godfrey. I'm a real gang stalking victim, a real targeted individual. Right now I'm at the Octavia Lab. I'm leaving. I totally forgot. Alex J0n3s talked about elements of gang stalking yesterday. So I'm gonna put this on YouTube. I'm gonna put it on YouTube and everybody else enjoy. I'm leaving for the Santa Monica Pier, okay? I'm going to the Santa Monica Pier today, but I'll be at the Santa Monica Pier tomorrow early, and Monday, which is Labor Day weekend 2025, Labor Day Monday 2025, I'll be there at the Santa Monica Pier around 1, okay? Sorry about it. I'm not at Santa Monica Pier right now. I'm at the library, but okay, I'm just tired. Okay, everybody else have a good day. Andre, I'm your mom and I love you and I miss you. Everybody else have a good day. My family members, I will see if I can call you tomorrow. Everybody else, enjoy the video. Peace. Here's the video talking about elements of gang stalking right here. I'm gonna put this on YouTube right now. Downloading. All right.
So if you put that camera in there, you see how it says probably silicone? That means it's an electronic component. And it's not unusual to find that in the posterior ear area.
So wait, I got a higher reading than him?
No, his was higher than yours.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, but you did get a positive reading there. So you are getting at the base of the neck is what we typically see. Scapula area.
You got him too, buddy.
And the lower lumbar.
Got us.
And again, what we're finding is after post-COVID, this is very typical. We're completely bombarded by this stuff. And again, it says silicone-based. The apex. And the abdomen. And again, silicone-based.
So, what does that say? Comparable or less?
Well, you know what, if we were to do a thorough exam, which takes a little bit longer, we would want to do the RF scan with the JM20 Pro first. Then we would come back with the frequency reader to obtain the numerical frequencies that we're detecting. And that would complete the whole process.
Do you have to take them out in order to get that numerical number?
No.
No?
No, we can detect it remotely.
And I noticed on you have the profile of different people. Did my profile pick up like a soldier's or somebody else's?
Very typical of a civilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You gonna bring that next time you come?
So why do you find over and over, he showed it earlier, why do you find soldiers have this particular pattern? We don't know?
Don't know. All we can say is that we can typically see what that pattern's based on the study. I don't have to know anything about the person. I can look at the profile and say, well, this is probably a soldier, or this is probably someone who was
And what are you finding with the State Department and CIA folks you scanned?
Very typical of what we would find on a soldier. So.
Well, this sounds alien to me. All right, Sean Johnson, great guest you got on. Thanks for, I already knew who he was. I don't know why I didn't get him on.
Yeah,
what was it like when you had him on your podcast? Comes out in a few days, and he scans you, already shows you maps, and then boom, it's exactly where he said it would be in a soldier.
Yeah, I'd like to say I was shocked, but I really wasn't. You know, I believe Jesse and everything he's saying. We had a conversation about this on the car ride today. I like to stay open-minded. I can't pretend like I know more than anybody else, and I'm just not going to keep my head in the sand. So I like to bring on guests that have a lot of very interesting things to say, and then give them the platform, give them the floor so they can do like a long form conversation. And then that allows me to become like a satellite conduit to platforms like yours. So if I find somebody that's very interesting, then I can bring them on. So when Jesse came on and he's like, hey, I bet you got some RF signals on you, I was like, probably. I remember when I was in the teams, they had us swallow this capsule that had some sort of electronic monitor in it. And basically what that was used for, or at least what we were told it was used for, is to monitor our core temperature, because we were exposed to such cold temperatures that they would basically take us out of the water every so often, have us get in a long line and measure the temperature in our stomachs to make sure that we weren't about to.
And this is 20 years ago, and you're passing the teams.
No, this is like when I was going through training to become a Navy SEAL.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was back in 2010, 2009, 2010 timeframe. But you know, at the time you believe them and you do what you're told. You're in the military. But I always wondered.
Well, they don't know either. They're just, you know.
I always wondered, did I shit that thing out? I don't remember shitting it out. Like, is that thing still in me? Was that the only thing it was used for? And so when Jesse said that, I said, but I was surprised when he scanned me that I had so many of these across my body.
And they do it through injections now. That's how they're there.
Apparently. I don't know when I was injected, but I know I used to go to the dentist through the VA, through the military. We would have to go once a year to go to the dentist. And obviously they would put you under if you needed to get something done. Who knows? But it's scary stuff. And it's even more scary, like Jesse touched on it, this Trojan horse thing. You know, like when he started talking about them introducing these nano robots into our system via vaccine, I was like, yes, I didn't take the vaccine, I'm safe. But then Jesse tells me, he goes, no. They were actually using it with the nose swabs. So even if you chose not to get the vaccine, the nose swabs were the Trojan horses. So they still introduced them to your system, and it went straight through the blood-brain barrier.
And it was creating the connection, the hydrogel.
The hydrogel.
Yeah. So like it was the perfect storm for them to introduce that across the entire planet. Create a fake fucking virus, give everybody fake vaccines, and if they won't take the vaccine, they're still going to get tested because you still had to get tested if you were going to go into work. So they got us.
Yeah.
Now it's introduced to every single person on this planet, or at least 90% of it. So, yeah, it's very concerning.
All right, so you're going to show in your podcast. When is that? How do people find the Sean B. Johnson?
Yeah, so it's called the Sean Johnson Podcast. You can find me on YouTube, the Sean Johnson Podcast. I'm also on X. I'll post videos and reels on Instagram.
When's this interview dropping with Jesse?
This one will be the Monday after next.
All right, so get out your scanner, explain what it is, and I've seen the videos. You have governments with their own. They found the same thing. You go in Faraday cages with officials that say they're being under attack. You've worked with Havana syndrome people, you name it. That's classified, but it's being proven. So tell us what's happening here.
So typically what we generally do is use the RF detector, and we'll find those locations where we're detecting an RF emission. And then we'll come with what's another device that emits a frequency, basically a Wi-Fi frequency at around 2.4 hertz, but it's designed to detect semiconductor materials. So any electronic component and very, very small size. What it'll do, it'll send out a harmonic to identify whether there's something there, and it can be on or off. If it identifies it, it will turn it on with that harmonic. A secondary harmonic will read it, and then we'll see whether or not it's electronic in nature, or a third harmonic, which means it's corrosive or a type of metal.
And my headset will interrupt it, so I'm going to turn my audio off, but it'll still pick it up.
Yeah, I can pick it up.
Let's show people right now.
Yeah, so transmit that power.
So overhead shot if we can. Document cam shot, guys. Turn the mics up.
So it says silicone base. Okay, so that means it's an electronic component.
Yeah, zoom in for this. Do it again. That's my earpiece. Let's zoom in on that, guys. All right, let's turn it off.
It'll still pick it up even if it's off.
Wow. Because it's never really off. All right, now you want to scan Sean or do me first?
Whatever you guys want to do.
You're the boss. Go ahead.
Okay. Sean, we can replicate what we did. Yeah.
Yeah, just stand right here.
Where do you want me?
Let's go out front. Go out front up out here.
Yeah.
Let's go that wide shot.
All righty. Yep, right there, Swain. And so what we'll do. So this will even pick up, if your key fob is in you, we'll be able to pick up. Go ahead and,
I got nothing on me.
yeah, keep your eyes closed.
Picking up on his temples like you did.
So that is a second harmonic, which means there's some type of semiconductor detection there. And this.
And you said it's soldiers all the time. Most people, nothing happens.
Yeah. And then on the left side, so the patterns that we pick up on him are very typical of what we would see in the soldier. The right and left TMJ.
Which matches the map we put up 5 years ago.
Correct. The right and left apex, the abdominal area. Yeah, and again, it's only second harmonic, so it's nothing metallic or anything like a nail that he got when he was a child. And this is how we were able to locate the exact areas to check the hips, It's a little bit lighter signal there, but still second harmonic, which means that that's what
And you have different maps you put out years ago showing the different groups you do. You do this with pure research.
Correct. And then if we go to the back, the base of his neck will light up. The back of the head, and usually the scapula area.
That's the brainstem.
Correct. So this nanomaterial will assemble at high density nerve endings in the human body. And that's why we're detecting them in the areas that we're seeing on him. So, but that is very typical.
All right, let's do me.
Okay.
We haven't done me yet. Let's find out.
Okay. Now, did you have the PCR test or vaccine?
No, I refused them. Joe Rogan tried to get me one, but I refused.
Oh, really?
Not
Okay.
against Joe, but that's the only comment I said.
Okay, yeah. So, but we're constantly being bombarded with this nanotech stuff.
Yeah, I'll narrate.
So
Alex
he's got
has
an ear
on the temporal
piece,
side
so
there.
that's what I'm
Let me take this
picking
off
up.
so that I can do
Yeah,
that. I'll take this off.
yeah.
Take it off, sorry. Here we go, folks, doing this live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Quote Bill O'Reilly. Sorry. All right, let's do it. Sorry.
All righty. So we'll go ahead. So if you put that camera in there, you see how it says probably silicone? That means it's an electronic component. And it's not unusual to find that in the posterior ear area.
So wait, I got a higher reading than him?
No, his was higher than yours.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah, but you did get a positive reading there. So you are getting at the base of the neck is what we typically see. Scapula area.
You got him too, buddy.
And the lower lumbar.
Got us.
And again, what we're finding is after post-COVID, this is very typical. We're completely bombarded by this stuff. And again, it says silicone-based. The apex. And the abdomen. And again, silicone-based. So.
Worse than Sean?
No. But that would be an indicator of positive.
Let me test your machine. Zap right here.
No. There is a hit there. You have something there?
Yeah, I got a .22 caliber pellet gun shot me through. They didn't remove it. So
Really?
That's in the back of there, yeah.
Okay, so but that is reading a second harmonic and a third harmonic, which means it's the indicator is that there is an electronic component with some metallic in
Sure,
there.
hit the base of my leg. See what you get right here.
Okay.
Do it at the ankle. So give you an example. I have a pin in my leg. So I was 16, had a compound fracture. My doctor died of a heart attack a month after. They never removed the pin.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a huge metal pin, and that isn't being picked up, but other stuff is.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Want to scan the other side, or are we done?
I did pick up the other side. There was nothing there that I could
It
detect.
picked up the bullet and the other thing.
Yeah. But that's it.
So what does that say? Am I comparable or less?
Well, you know what? If we were to do a thorough exam, which takes a little bit longer, we would want to do the RF scan with the JM20 Pro first. Then we would come back with the frequency reader to obtain the numerical frequencies that we're detecting, and that would complete the whole process.
Do you have to take them out in order to get that numerical number?
No.
No?
No, we can detect it remotely.
and I noticed on you have the profile of different people. Did my profile pick up like a soldier's or somebody else's?
Very typical of a civilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You gonna bring that next time you come?
So why do you find over and over, he showed it earlier, why do you find soldiers have this particular pattern? We don't know.
Don't know. All we can say is that we can typically see what that pattern's based on the study. I don't have to know anything about the person. I can look at the profile and say, well, this is probably a soldier, or this is probably someone who was.
And what are you finding with the State Department and CIA folks you scanned?
Very typical of what we would find on a soldier. So.
Well, this sounds alien to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
You were saying you're talking to high-level people. What do they think?
Well, I've spoken to high-level people, and I'm very left brain. There is this phenomena where people say they've been abducted by aliens, and Dr. Lear was very famous for pulling out implants, and they said they were alien implants. But the bottom line is, all of these implants that were pulled out can be identified and traced back to some type of bio research company.
Because you see human code.
Yeah, and then there's the phenomena where you talk about people who believe they've been abducted by the military and they have these implants put in them. Same thing, they're always identifiable. And then we have the civilian population. Currently, I have 6 cases that we have medical imagery and all of the basis that they have a foreign body in them. And legally, we can only say for whatever reason, there is a foreign body based on these images. When we use this equipment, all we can say, for example, here, is that for whatever reason, we're finding a frequency at very specific focal areas on the human body. When you use the secondary device, then it's detecting a semiconductor. That leads you more evidence that there's a high probability that there's something there.
So we know there's all the patents. We know what's going on. We know the COVID shots. We're growing this stuff in people with the graphene oxide. What's happening there?
So if you have the larger tech in you, you're lucky, because that can be identified and surgically removed, sent to a lab, and usually all of these things will have some type of serial number. Because
you said that's pre-2015.
Correct, yeah. Now we're dealing with nano. And so we were a little disheartened and discouraged and say, well, what do we do about this now? There is a product out there, and this has been peer-reviewed and studied, and it's naturally sourced high-grade zeolite. And we have a lot of these victims who are taking this and having some significant results in the decrease in the amount of symptoms that they're having.
What does zeolite do to
Yeah, so zeolite is a product that is, you can find it in blue zones. Usually there has to be some type of volcanic activity, which meshes with the diatomaceous earth and the ocean, and it creates this compound called zeolite, and it's negatively charged, and it's one of the only few natural substances that you can take and it will bind with the graphene oxide. And so they've done control studies with this product, and after about 90 days, they see a significant decrease in the graphene oxide.
We got to put that out, because I know zeolites are good for it anyways. Zeolite nanotech detox.
Well, it not only does it take the graphene oxide, it takes a lot of these poisonous metals that we're constantly being subjected to.
So it's a chelator.
Correct, yeah.
Well, in closing, Sean, amazing information with Jesse Beltran. We know this is going on, all the patents. We need to get ahead of this, be aware of this, because this is out of control.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, just thank you for having me on, my first time on here. I know we've been training for a while now. So it feels good to be here sitting next to you guys, and thank you, Jesse, for coming on my podcast. I think it's awesome to be able to give guys like Jesse a platform where they can kind of expose this stuff to the world. You know, guys like you're bombarded with so much information. Look at all this paperwork on right in front of you every day. And so it's great that we have people like Jesse that become subject matter experts on topics that we can like really bring them in and let your viewers understand what's going on out there.
Well, since you mentioned it, I'll get to it tomorrow now. Literal Bill Gates, a UN document, taking control of the world ID, all the systems you're talking about, giving each person a biometric number, tagging us. It's all in the patents, everything you're saying.
Yeah, no, it is. It's all true. And if you're interested in the zeolite, you can go to our website, look under services, and you'll find it there if you'd like to take a look at it. We're very open about everything we do and transparent. We don't say anything without evidence. You can also look at the studies on how that could help.
Yeah, I'm gonna start taking that too. Jesse's gonna send me some of that zeolite here as soon as he gets home, and I'll start taking it. So follow me if you want to keep up, and I'll let you know if I notice anything.
Zeolite's been a great detox forever.
Yeah, and that particular product, which is it's the highest grade zeolite you can. It's I'm good friends with the creator of it, and it's called Masterpiece. And so if you can get the Masterpiece product, I highly encourage you to do that. All of the victims that, a large majority of them that come to me are taking it, and we are seeing significant improvement.
Regardless, all of this AI, all this is killing us.
Correct.
And people need to have a debate about this, they need to know about it. But obviously, these corporations want to get way ahead of things. Like the Pentagon put out the COVID shot. It didn't come out of China. It came out of North Carolina. And this is part of a larger project to put nodes into people for this tracking system.
Yeah, this is the mark of the beast. And that's what everyone needs to understand. So you need to decide whether or not you want, what kind of future you want for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. It's time to speak up, stand up, and fight back. That's the only thing I can say.
Well, they certainly don't want us talking about it. Remember Bill Gates' wife, like on that trailer earlier. Oh, no, we do this. It's all there. It's all crazy. Harrison Smith is taking over. Stay right there. We're about to end this, but 60-second closing comment.
Closing comment, I like to think that although this may seem like a significant negative and that we don't have a fighting chance, I like to believe that God is the ultimate programmer and that God will prevail in the end. And that's what I'd like to share.
Look, it's transhumanism. They say the future isn't human. We have to be aware of that and say, no, the future is human.
Correct.
And we're saying no to this. So we're going to continue to hammer this. We've been covering a lot, but I want to do the deep dive on this because this is going on. This is the ultimate revolution. These corporations want to tag you. They want to, literally put nanotech in your food. They're already doing it. We've got to be aware that COVID was just the start, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to stop it. And the good news is, despite all their lies, Bill Gates is the most hated man in the world.
Well, there's a reason why he was in our intro that we just presented. It was fun, interesting that you were just talking about him, but this is the agenda. We have these elites that think that they should play God and they should determine our destiny. I say it's time for us to take back that power and we decide what our destiny is.
And for anything they hit us with, God's always given us something in the natural world.
So why don't you just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you showed up.
Is that the way to talk?
You showed up. You voted.
You can extend it right now.
Permanent extension of massive tax breaks. Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that right?
If you had your way, the standard deduction would have been cut in half. That would have been a massive tax increase on Americans.
Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic Party, and the rest of the deep state want you and I to shut up, but we're not going to shut up. That's why on top of the giant sale we've got going, Veterans of the InfoWar right now, you get an additional 10% off at checkout at thealexjohnstore.com with promo code Hakeem. Because no, Hakeem, we're not going to shut up. And when Americans and others back InfoWars and this operation and what we're doing, they are literally defending the tip of the spear. This is the media operation the globalists and the left hate the most. We can't do this without your support. So please help keep us on the air and really say no to Hakeem Jeffries and the rest of these people by going to thealexjohnstore.com for the best supplements, widest selection of Patriot apparel and gear. Promo code Hakeem to get 10% off right now.